Honest, sometimes I don't understand. Why do you let me fall when the world is in your hand? You can stop it all if you want to, but you don't just let me go through. But I know you never let it kill me, only make me strong. I know it's all for a purpose. I know it will all be worth it. I just gotta keep on. And I have to know it's in His plan. He knows what's best for me, so I can't get distracted by what I see. So forget about the problems you're in, because He already worked it out in the end. So I tell you to trust in Him, according to you
Awesome, awesome. I'm going to tell you, it's good to be here with you on Marvelous Monday. I am Dr. Larissa D. Smith, the host of Talking Real to You preview show. This is our every other Monday. We rotate and bring you some outstanding discussion about just plain old life issues. And we're so excited to have the opportunity now. We actually are live on Blog Talk Radio at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So I look forward to coming back with you, but I like to come with a preview show at like 7 o'clock, which is Central Standard Time, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, just to offer you some things that we're going to have on our format and want you to be a part of it. Now, if you want to be a part of the show where you can call in, you just want to listen, that's fine. But if you have something you want to offer in the form of what you call expertise or comments or questions, the call-in number is 347-857-4192. And if you want to be a part of the show, press 1. And I will identify you with the last 4 digits of your cell or your telephone number and ask you to offer your comments as well as where you're located and your name. We're looking for those things to happen at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. But this is our preview show, so what we want to do is kind of get you lined up for what exactly is going to be happening at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Now, the title of the show is Real Talk About Just Plain Old Life Issues. Now, not only if you want to just go call in, you can go to our web link. Our web link is www.blogtalkradio.com/The Smith Way Production. You go to that, click on that, it'll take you to Blog Talk Radio, but actually to our web and that's our well link, which you consider our well page dealing with the Smith Way production. Now, you also, if you want to check the show out, even at this point, I have to share this. We're being broadcasting 4 different ways tonight. We're Facebook, and I see each and every one of you all on Facebook. I appreciate each and every one of y'all joining. At the end of this, I always make sure I give a shout out to you for taking your time just to listen to what we're going to do on this show. And we'll come back at 8 o'clock, and we're going to do some Facebook as well with our co-host, which I'll be telling you in a few minutes. They'll be coming in, but you only will hear their voices. You want to get a chance to see their pictures. You want to go to Facebook, and you can check out who those individuals will be joining me after I tell you who their names are. And actually, if you want to put the picture with the name, but I asked my team tonight to make sure when they're sharing their expertise, they share their name before they do that. So we'll look forward to make sure and make it easier for you to identify. Again, now, if you want to just go to that web link and just check it out through Blog Talk Radio, you can, www.blogtalkradio.com/The Smith Way Production. As I said, we're being broadcast 4 ways tonight. We got Facebook. Thank you so much, team. The individuals that are joining me, and I'm just saying you are a team. We also broadcast on Periscope, our Twitter. And that's under Lorenzo D. Smith. That's at Lorenzo D. Smith 15. You can check us out on Twitter as well as on Instagram. That's Coach Dr. Dr. Lorenzo D. Smith 15. Then also on the Smith Way Production television station through YouTube. So we're being operating in 4 different ways. Now let me kind of explain a little bit about what we're going to be doing tonight, but exactly what we're trying to do on Talking Real to You. You know, we're the only father and daughter Blog Talk Radio show in the country, and proud to have that brand. And we look forward to sharing things with you, whether it's political, educational, economic, financial, relationships, whatever it may be, just plain old life issues. So we take that opportunity to do that, and we do it on every other Monday. Now, if you, again, I got to mention, if you want to tweet the show, you got to have that opportunity as well. You can tweet the show at Talking Real to You, at Lorenzo D. Smith 15. You got those opportunities to tweet the show as well. Then when we get to the show at 8 o'clock, my co-hosts and several of my co-hosts will have opportunity. You can tweet them as well. Now, let's understand, if you want to go back and check out just this episode right here, which is a preview, you can go back and you can check it out on Facebook, because I will post it on Facebook, as well as I'll make sure I post it on Instagram under each one of those count when I said at Lorenzo D. Smith 15 or Coach Dr. Lorenzo D. Smith 15. Then you have several others. The Dr. Lowe Show. I have several other areas you can Talking Real to You. You can check it out on Instagram as well as Twitter. So you have an idea. You can go to Google Plus if you feel comfortable going to Google Plus and replay it through that way. Link it in. You can check it out on that way. So you got so many ways. If you just go to my Facebook page for those people on Facebook, and you see all the opportunities through social media, you can hear this show again, as well as the show at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. All right, let me actually kind of share with you what we're going to be talking about tonight. Our title will be Real Talk About Just Plain Old Life History. And my co-host that'll be joining me, and I'm so glad to have these young individuals. I call them young because their spirit is awesome. They volunteer their time. They're not actually in the studio. They're pretty much in all other parts of the country. They're in the state of Georgia, the state of Alabama, as well as the state of South Carolina. I'll start off with our co-host in South Carolina, out of Greenville, South Carolina, who will be joining us at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard, is Scarlett H. Black. Scarlett is a retired educator, as well as she worked in counseling for many years, retired administrator, and she's there up in Greenville, and she'll be joining us at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Also, out of the state of Georgia, just south of Georgia in Jonesboro, where we will be having our first tour of Blog Talk Radio and the Smith Way Production in Jonesboro, Georgia on the 19th of October. None other than our resident PhD person, Dr. Olivia E. Smith. So good to have her with us as well. She'll be joining us at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Then we have the daughter that make up that part of the father-daughter, the only father and daughter Blog Talk radio show in the country, and it's my daughter. That's Lauren D. Smith. Now, I make sure I introduce her. However, she called me earlier. Said, "Dad, I'm battling with close to being pneumonia, so I need to go to the doctor and get me some medicine and get myself ready to go because I have to be to work tomorrow. So I may not be on the show tonight." But she makes up that tandem that makes up the father and daughter Blog Talk Radio show, and that's Lauren D. Smith, and she's a millennial. And our last co-host who joins us from time to time, I call him an expert. His name is Cameron Gilbert. He's out of the central part of Alabama, and he offers us some awesome ideas from the millennium point of view. So we're meshing these things together and make sure it happens. So we want you to join us at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time with the team, and we're going to be talking about just plain old life issues. And we're going to look at some political issues that we're going to focus. So I'm going to run down the agenda right quick, but I'm going to share some thoughts as I talk about the topics we're going to be discussing at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. The first topic we're going to look at we're going to discuss the creation of more school districts. And I want you to keep in mind in your area, you may see this occurring often now. So what we want you to do is to make sure, and we got people trying to call me, and I'm trying to shut them down. They're causing my network to shut down. You know, I actually just wait a little later to call me because you end up having me lose my opportunity to be on that, be able to present the information to you, because when you're calling my cell phone, which you'll be calling on, have a tendency to kind of act up a little bit, but it's all good. But I'm going to put myself back live on YouTube television to make sure we're able to get these messages that we have. We're going to just talk about the creation of school district. A lot of areas, even your area, we have school districts being created. And what our discussion will be about the creation of these school districts. Will it lead to more segregated classrooms in schools? I want you to think about if most urban cities, when there's the white flight, they're leaving from those urban cities and they're rushing to the suburbs. And a lot of individuals of color doing the same thing. But when you leave a majority of moving towards segregated school, with the majority now would be African American or Hispanic, whatever, maybe an Asian. They're moving, the people of color now become the majority. Is that good? The creation of more school districts. I know just in the state of Alabama this year there was like 3 new school districts created and carved out of a certain county. Like, for example, South Alabama, there was a school district carved out of that area. And you have one over in East Alabama, which is called Pike Road. It's not far from Montgomery. It's school district. It was carved out. So that took a lot of those individuals that was in Montgomery County, which is Montgomery, Alabama, but they moved to Pike Road. They was living in Pike Road. They just created a town and created a school district. It takes away. It takes away. Now, with the development of charter schools, tell me, actually, will those charter schools do the same thing? But I always want everybody to understand about charter schools. I think we have failed as getting the information out truly about the charter schools. And I want you to, and you may have them in your place, but I do want you to understand charter schools are public schools. The only difference from being public school, because the money follows the young people that goes there, they do have certain criteria. But I challenge everybody getting upset over that. This is my opinion, is that we have magnet schools in a lot of places, and it takes a lot of our students based on criteria, and they steal the money actually follow them as well. So it's the same thing now, whether you agree or disagree, whether you think they do the job, whether they have qualified teachers, all of that. But if they're public school, they're required to have qualified teachers or certified teachers, more or less. And a lot of times they use alternative programs to become teachers. We can't say that. So it's something, please research it. And you know, you always had parochial schools, you always had private schools, you had Catholic schools, Presbyterian schools, you had all kind of schools, academies that's developed and giving a child an opportunity, I believe. So the question is, by creating these new school districts, are we moving back to segregation in our classroom as well as our school? Is that good or bad? And I want you to share your thoughts on it. I want you to let me know, is it good they're moving to more of a back to a segregated classroom or segregated schools in a lot of your areas? For example, your urban areas, and a lot of time the money leaves that pretty much, and your meals that you need to operate your school system, people, property taxes, the way we do it, 10 meals, that's $10 million. You have to make sure to operate your school system, got to be put in place through taxes. And if it's not in place, then you're going to lose out. You're not going to be able to compete with those system of districts that voting to go up to 20% and 25%. So those are the kind of things. We are moving back to a segregated system because our schools are losing white flight, and a lot of time we have people of color flight. So we're losing some of our better students and moving to other areas. I'm not saying that because of their color they're better. I'm just saying they're leaving our schools, and they're not becoming segregated. Is that good? And I want you to share your thoughts on it. I want you to let me know whether you feel like that's good or bad. All right, the next thing we're going to talk about in regards to why should we fight? Why should we fight against developing all these school districts? Why should we fight for the development of charter schools? Why should we fight against the development of those academies that's springing up all around? You know, you have homeschool as well, and from a lot of homeschools, there are academies being developed out of those homeschools. Why should we fight? Now, for one thing, the question will be, why should we fight to keep our public school proportionally integrated, not segregated? The first topic was about flight, white flight, people of color flight from the urban cities and going out in the suburbs and starting their own school district. Now we're talking about, should we fight to keep everybody in there and give a proportional of integration in there? And I want your thoughts on it. The call-in number for the show at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time is 347-857-4192. And if you want to offer your comments or your question, press 1. I will identify you with the last 4 digits of your cell or your telephone number. Then I'll ask you to please let us know who you are, where you're calling from, and then give those comments, give your expertise. So that's what we want to know your thoughts about the fight to keep our public schools proportionally integrated. Okay? We're going to also move to another political, that was an educational issue we talked about, but we're going to look at some political issues. And I want everybody to jump in on this. And the first topic will be discuss why Bernie Sanders is the strongest candidate to beat Trump, President Trump. Discuss why Bernie Sanders, the Democratic candidate for president, is the strongest candidate to beat President Trump. I want your thoughts on it. Tell me, would Bernie Sanders be the best candidate? Joe Biden would be the best candidate? Give me a reason why you think that. We're going to share our thoughts why. And I don't have a problem with individuals comes and say, we just got to get him out of the office, but we have to get somebody in the office that's going to be able to do the job if that person's not doing the job. We just don't want to put someone in office and you have the same old same and they come undercover. Some people come you don't know where their money coming from, and the individuals, there. But you have your opinion. I want you to discuss it. I don't want you to sit back. You also, again, can check the show out on the web link. That's www.blogtalkradio.com/The Smith Way Production. You can go to that, click on it, just listen to the show. Now, if you're on Facebook, you got any thoughts about it, click on it, let me know. Share your thoughts with me and tell me how you feel. Because I know the board is filling up on Facebook because I can see it. Because normally when I get a lot of people in here, that first name that call in first is the one that gets shaded out. I have to work hard to try to see that name. So I work on that. And these old glasses sometimes do what they need to do and sometimes they don't. And the next topic in the political aspect, if Trump is reelected, how will the country react for the next 4 years? Let us know. Tell me your thoughts. I was in a conversation with a person today talking about how 45 affected their business, affected several things that they're dealing with now, and truly want to consider what's going to happen in 2020 before I even move toward rectifying my business right now. That was one of the thoughts and one of the discussions I had. I want your thoughts. I don't want you to sit back and say, well, man, it don't mean anything. I have my own feeling about that because, we can look at it. We got issues of Social Security. Are we going to have money left when a lot of you all that are born in the 1990s and the 2000s, whether is money going to be left for you? Or 2010 and soon to be 2020, is going to be money left? Now, let's look at it, and I want you to, and that's a topic I'm just throwing out there with Social Security. Social Security is not drying up because of who's in charge. It's drying up because we have people living longer. That is what it is going to end. And we have people not putting, in some cases, not putting much in, but getting a lot out. It's just the way it works, So we want to talk about that. Will that be affected? Social Security and what's going to be in the future? Will education be affected? Will the just the political climate of the country, will the social climate of the country be affected by Trump being reelected? Okay, and the next topic we're going to talk about, and I want us to be kind of weary because I heard a lot of people talk about this in 16 about why the election went like it did. Why should presidential candidates court, go out and talk, discuss, campaign, rural voters for the next 4 years? Meaning that you got to go out, and you should have been doing it in 16. The rural voters, the people in the rural area as voters. I heard some things, well, they came out the woods and this and they had and talked about their mouth fits up, but they came and voted. But should our presidential candidate, whether it's a Democrat or Republican, but at this point, the Republican is using that to advance what they need to advance. Should the Democrat candidate who's going to be nominated be the one to go and make sure in the process she's been doing it all the time? Is it important? I want you to discuss it. The call-in number is 347-857-4192. Should we court or recruit or campaign for the rural voters for the next, I said the next 4 years, but doing this next year or so? Should we be out campaigning to get the rural voters to the poll? You tell me. I want to know. When you call in to our call-in number, once you press 1, I will identify. That's if you have something to say. Press 1 and I identify the last 4 digits of your cell or telephone number, then ask you to give us your name and location and offer your comments, your question if you have one, or your more or less your expertise about the topics we're talking about. All right, the next topic is in regards to education again, but our post-secondary education. College student loan, I'm going to read it out like I have it here. College student loan debt hits a new high. It hit a new high. The debt, it hit a new high. Student loan debts have reached an all-time high at $1.6 trillion. That's the student loan debts. Do we need a free tuition plan? Do we need a free tuition plan for our individuals that want to go to college? Do we need to have some? Some people would say that your various basic grant, your Pell grant is a free tuition, but that's based on income. That's not free for everybody. We're talking about everybody have one, and that way we won't have this large debt of $1.6 trillion. Myself, I'm one of them that are paying back debt right now in regards to going to school and having children go to school as well. So, should it be free tuition? Should it be a plan? Should we ask our presidential candidate? Should we ask our House of Representatives, senators of our state? Should we ask our mayoral candidate or our city council, what are you doing to better education? What are you doing to help not only the secondary, but also on the post-secondary level? Tell us, we need to know. Are you all for free tuition for our young people to go to college? Yes, no, indifferent, however you want to share your thoughts on it. Again, call-in number is 857-4192. That'll be at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. This is just a preview show, so we just want to make sure we share those thoughts. Just a couple of notes, reason why it would be nice to have a plan in place. One, college should ensure they clear. One of the things they said relate to why we're having such a problem when the people going into debt, $1.6 trillion. So this is what we really need to have, a free tuition plan. College should ensure they are clear about how much it will cost you to attend college. Get it right. College should make it clear to you how much it's going to cost you to go to college, and allow us to work some kind of other avenues. That's one of the things why we need a free tuition plan, where states should invest more in higher education. I just said, state senator, your House of Representatives, from the state as well as the federal level, you should be pushing your local mayor, your local city councils. You should be pushing for some plan to get our young people, or get our population that wants to go to college in college without incurring this $1.6 trillion, helping it grow even more. What can we do? The state should be more involved with the higher education. Not always trying to govern what they're doing, but trying to put in things to make sure our young people get the best foundation, so they can, when they consider college, we have some kind of tuition plan. Some states are doing it. Some are using their money from the lottery. Some using their money from whatever kind of fundraising process on the state level they have. You know, whatever it may be. It may be horse racing, whatever it may. If you got a lottery and you got the racing and you got the dog racing and all that, you got that to help out. You got to make sure we fund that and put that money in the right place to help education. Then the third thing is Congress. Congress, you know what I said? The U.S. Congress should double the Pell Grant and a scholarship given to lower income students. That's the free tuition plan. Agree, disagree, indifferent. Would you think that will work? Will it help you as a person, help you to go back to college, no matter how old you are? Some people, I conferred with some people recently when they, well, I got my bachelor's degree back in 20 years ago and I want to go back to college. I just can't afford it. I got to work and everything. Would this kind of plan help us? Free tuition plan for those individuals. The more education we obtain at whatever level, and we're using it like it's supposed to, we can be very successful. And that's what I see there. So, those are the kind of things we're going to talk about tonight at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. It's good to come before you on Marvelous Monday, and I'm so happy we can have this opportunity. We're so happy to get the word out. We have listeners, and I always tell everybody, we have listeners in 15 countries, including the United States. They're listening, whether it's through the internet, whether it's through Google, whatever it's through, they're listening to our shows, because we can go and look and see. We appreciate you on Facebook. Now, everybody on Facebook is here on the U.S., the United States, located in the United States. They're in Canada, they're in Uganda, they're Zambia, they're all over, because Facebook, they make requests to me and they want to hear the show as well. So you have an opportunity to be a part of that. So we make sure we bring you in on Facebook when you can't get on Blog Talk Radio, but we do have them on. It says 15 countries. We're proud to have that opportunity. It says the Smith Wade Production. All of the shows that we have is heard and have listeners in 15 countries. That's awesome. And we thank you. We can't do it without you checking us out on Facebook, checking us out on Blog Talk Radio, checking us out on Instagram, Twitter, then going back and listening to it on Google Plus, going back and listen to our shows on demand, episodes on Facebook, watch parties. We thank you for doing that. They give us the listeners, and we do appreciate you taking time. So we got an outstanding show planned for tonight. So I want you to come back and join us, because I'll be coming back. I am going to do it on Facebook as well as Blog Talk Radio. We're going to come back and do it that way. So we want you to be a part of it. We want you to check it out. So make plans to be with us at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Just a couple of things to share with you. We will have our Wednesday night show like we do every Wednesday, Talking Sports Plus. I host that show, and my co-host is Coach Tony Starworth, Coach Lauren D. Smith, Coach Tremaine Edwards, Coach Cameron Gilbert, and our radio personality, Darrell E. Train Elliott. And we are the voice of the historical black colleges and universities, high school and middle school athletics in the southeastern part of the United States. We're going to tackle some tough topics. We're going to talk about historical black colleges and university, talk about high school spotlight, middle school spotlight, just our college football in general, and then we'll make sure we just have an awesome show on Wednesday night at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I always have a preview show at 7 o'clock so you can find out what the topics are. So I want you to come back and check us out at that time. Okay? Then on Friday, we'll have Balling with the Doc. And that's the show that comes on at 2:30, and then we just talk about the hottest topics of the week, sports topic, and that's Balling with the Doc. I'm the host of that show as well, so we look forward to doing that. Now, we'll roll back on next Tuesday. We have the Dr. Lowe Show, and that's our relationship show. I'm the relationship guru, and we talk some serious stuff about relationship. We're going to follow up with part 3. Are you ready for a real relationship? This series going on because every time we get to a point we can't finish it all, we want to come back at you real hard. That show is on Tuesday night at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So we look forward to having that show, and it's on Blog Talk Radio, Facebook, as well as Instagram, all at one time. We'll be rolling 3 or 4 different ways on that night. All right. The upcoming thing that's coming for us, we're going to be in support now. The Smithway production is in support of the NEE, National Education Association, as well as the Alabama Education Association. They're for Alabama State University Education Association. We'll be having a membership drive on October the 5th. And setup will probably be about 10, and we'll go to about 4 or 5. Come by the table, stop by the tailgate spot. It's tailgate spot 7 and 8 over at ASU campus. And if you're not a member of it, if you're a student, you're not a member, you can join. Students don't have to pay any money. But if you're a staff person or a faculty person, and you just may want to transfer you wherever you are, and you don't have it, you want to be a part of it, we will sign you up and have you a part of our membership at the Education Association, the AEA, at Alabama State University. And we're also a member of the National Education Association. That's October the 5th from 11 to 5. Then on October the 19th, our tour, the Smithway Production Tour, will be going out. We'll be in the state of Georgia, at Jonesboro, Georgia. We'll be taking our relationship show to Georgia. And the time for the show is 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. I will be the moderator, and we will have a host of our co-hosts and expert that will be part of the panel discussion we're going to have. We're going to talk about relationship. Are you ready for a real relationship? We're going to talk about it a little bit more. So we look forward. That's going to be 3 o'clock, as I said, Eastern Standard Time, and 5 till 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We'll be at the Lake Spivey Golf Club. That's in Jonesboro, Georgia. And we want you to join us. We want you to be a part of it. The cost of the tickets is $15, and includes your food and your beverage in regards to non-alcohol beverage. And if you want to buy anything else, it'll be an open bar enough to do that. So we look forward to having you there. That's the Real Talk About Relationship Tour, sponsored by the Smithway Production, on October the 19th in Jonesboro, Georgia. Starts at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time and lasts to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we look forward to having you there. Just, you can go to it. I have posted how you can go to PayPal and get it set up, and you'll see PayPal. Then it's / and you have Dr. Lorinda Smith, and you can go there, or either go to Cash App, which is basically $ Lorenza D. Smith. Buy your tickets, get them early, be ready to come. And I sent out an invitation to many people. Some already say, I won't be there. But a lot of them say, I'm over in the area, I'll be there. So we look forward. That's October the 19th at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time at the Lake Spivey Golf Club in Jonesboro, Georgia. So we're real excited about what's that. We got several other tours set up. We'll be moving, coming back to Alabama in December, and then we'll roll back out and make sure we get several other states. Is where you invite us, we come to share our thoughts and our relationship to it. So again, we're at the end to wrap this up, and we're ready to get for start our show up in 25 minutes, which is 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, which is Talking Real to You. This is a preview show. That will be the actual prime time show. Let me give a shout out to those people joining us right now. I'm pushing back so I can see those individuals, and that's Brianna Cleveland. You're the first one today, and I do appreciate you, Brianna, for joining us, Cleveland. Then we have Alicia Urban, and she's a member of Zeta Phi Beta sorority. Give you a shout out. We have Lanice Greer, member of Zeta Phi Beta sorority. Antonio L. Washington, my frat brother of Phi Beta Sigma fraternity. Mary Jane Parley, I know she's a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Give her a shout out. Deacon Reginald Ruth, my nephew. He had a birthday the other day. Happy belated birthday, Reggie. Tanya Daniels, and I'm looking at her, and she's a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. I'm gonna give you the shout out if I can see it. Yvonne Pryor Anderson, a member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. Christian Barrows, thank you so much. Charlie Angels, thank you so much for joining us. Some people saying you couldn't hear me. I don't know what's going on here, but I hope that's not the case where you couldn't hear me, and I do appreciate you doing that, and I'm trying to do some things to make sure you hear me now. So I'm hoping you can hear me now, and you can hear everything I was saying during the process. We look forward to making sure we correct things, and I appreciate when people send things to me, but I didn't stroll down enough to see. Even Wanda Myrick, something is wrong with your sound, so people are not hearing me, and I want to apologize to each and every one of you if you didn't hear me, and I appreciate those people. Charlie Angel said, why can't we hear you? Question, I don't know what was the problem there, but I think we may have solved the problem. Hopefully we have. Monique Sunshine Boyd, she's joining us. Then we have Preacher Man preaching in for him, and he's joining us. That's Michael Clemens, one of my ball players from McKenzie School down in South Butler County, played basketball for me, and he's a pastor of a church in Evergreen. Thank you, Michael. We all say we have Linda Moore. It still said we still can't hear you. I don't know exactly what's going on here, but we're going to work on solving the problem. Just hang there with me, and we'll make sure we get the problem solved, because I figure if I go this way, you're able to hear me, and hopefully we are. Linda Moore, thank you for joining us. Then we all got a little about my mics, and they're not able to hear me, and I'm working on it. I'm trying to see what the problem is. The mic on, they said can't hear anything, so that is not good for tonight. But you know what? We're going to continue so far, because we're going to get it corrected by 8 o'clock show. So be ready prime time. You have Jamisa Brentson. Is this Mira McCullough? Mario V. Telfario, which is my frat brother. Thank you, Mario. Then we have Terry Melodrama Robinson. And Mario's a member of, again, a Phi Beta Sigma fraternity. I do appreciate it. I appreciate y'all hitting me and letting me know you couldn't hear me. And hopefully we can correct this situation. So I'm going to do my best to make sure. But I still appreciate you joining me. But join us at 8 o'clock, and I'll make sure you can hear what I'm saying, so we won't have a problem with the volume. I don't know what's going on with the volume, why it's not, the audio is not, but we're going to work on it. We will. We do appreciate you joining. We're at the end of our show now. At this show, before we start, get ready to get started for our 8 o'clock show. But I do say, it's been awesome tonight. My hashtag, and I got some people that's joining me on Twitter, Periscope. What's the topic tonight? The topic's going to be just plain old life. We're going to focus on just plain old life issues. We're going to just do real talk about it. So you check us out. We're getting people hitting me back and forth on different areas, trying to make sure. So we're working on making sure everything come out. We all have Pretty McFadden. Thank you, Pretty McFadden is joining us, and we appreciate you joining us as well. We're going to work on our issue. We're going to solve it. But at 8 o'clock, make sure you join us. Now, I want you to understand that it's all about being a part of something that we're trying to make happen through this vessel. God gave me this vision 2 years ago to do this. So I look forward to doing this. And when we have things and you can help me out like you're doing, appreciate it so much. And we're going to work toward correcting everything, okay, for our 8 o'clock show. We'll be back on Facebook, so if you want to rejoin us after we take a 23-minute break, we're getting less than a 20-minute break, then you can come back and join us. I have the whole team with me, and my team consists of Scarlett H. Black out of Greenville, South Carolina, Dr. Olivia E. Smith out of Jonesboro, Georgia, Lauren D. Smith here out of Central Alabama, Cameron Gilmer out of Central Alabama, and we'll just make sure we have those individuals ready to go, and you can hear them because I have the system in place. I do appreciate it. We're at the end. I have to call it quits now and get ready for the 8 o'clock show. I always tell them my hashtag is keep on grinding. Hashtag is communicate for understanding. But I always want to tell you, you have a plan. We don't own the rights to this music. We're going to play it again because it said all in the plan. God has a plan for you. And I love you, and ain't a thing you can do about it. Have an awesome night.